Let's make this a formal, official vlog from Sabrina. The Los Angeles Auto Show this year issued the design challenge for 8 automotive design studios to show how artificial intelligence might improve the automobile and integrate it more closely with human lives. You may think, like Randall Holcomb, in the US, we almost always display some kind of reckless, overpowered death trap. At the Los Angeles Auto Show, you can always find concept cars that represent the unique culture of Southern California. As Randall Holcomb states, some of the concepts are cool, others are strange, but none of them have a shred of feasibility. I tend to argue with him. The concepts are very fascinating and a lot of what I've been studying as I look into the future. The first car that's listed on the Los Angeles Robocar 2057 website is the Audi Ventura Quattro. Holographic exterior that can sense other cars and move as in a school of fish. So again, addressing the idea of heavy traffic and the need to compact as many cars into a small amount of space as possible. GM OnStar Ant was a very bizarre concept for me to get. It is kind of a skateboard concept, has 3 wheels, and I think what happens is you can put it under an existing platform, like an existing car without wheels, and move that with this, I don't know, I think it was solar, a lot of them were solar. It didn't mention what type of thing powered this particular car, but it was called an ant. Instead of using the idea of school of fish, it used the idea of how ants march in a line, but they never get into traffic jams also. The Honda 1 to the 4th power was a solar hybrid. It was also a 4-in-1 type of car, although I don't quite understand that concept either, because there was, like the main bigger housing, and then there were 2 sidecars and then an undercar. But the concept was you could use the HOV lane by everyone connecting up together. But I don't know how many people would only buy the sidecar and how many would want to be the top car. Anyway, all 4 of these elements would come together and people would go and then they'd break off to get to their original destination. So they're still trying to think outside of the box. So anyway, the next one is the Mazda Motonari RX. The driver and the vehicle are one. It allows for 360-degree movement. Of course, there will be no accidents in the future because of collision avoidance systems. They will be assembled locally and no factory, and the funniest part is the design cycle is only a week. So I think someone had a bad day that day and decided that it takes far too long to design a car, and wouldn't it be nice if cars were made out of this silvery metallic that could be reformed with just a new program or an upgrade. So it only weighs 200 pounds. It would cost about $5,000 US. It runs on solar, but the most unique of the other ones is that it was controlled with haptic technology. So a body suit or just your hands touching it could control. They compared it to like a street luge by leaning forward or backwards, I guess your Segway kind of thing, but it looks really cool. It's this exoskeleton that allows you to feel the road, and from where I'm from there's a lot of potholes, so feeling the road didn't make me too excited, but an interesting concept nonetheless, and it looks really cool. So check out the Motonari RX. Mercedes-Benz created the Silver Flow. It's this cool liquid. It looks maybe the size of a bucket or a bowl, a big bowl, and it flattens out and shapes into whatever you program it to shape into. So it's this silvery looking thing, and then the gold highlights come out when it's finished forming and you can drive it. It can expand to seat more people or less people. Again, this is all dreaming totally in the future, but I like to see this kind of dreaming because I think it's going to be possible sooner than we think, because computing power is so quick. So as long as we have these ideas, I think we'll be able to make them happen even more quickly than we might think possible. So this silver flow is a liquid that is magnetized and can be refigured. It, 360-degree turning, and I don't recall what the power source is, but probably something natural. The Nissan 11 is a very cartoony looking thing. It calls it the family pet. Again, going with the idea of artificial intelligence, this thing could run errands for the family. My favorite thing that just made me want to was that it's painted with the nano solar material that I'm so excited about, that has the potential, you can change the color with a touch of a button, and it'll solar power something. But it also has the little microscopic hair that can fuel it when wind passes over it. So it's got the two nanomolecular ways of making energy, one with the vibrating little tiny hairs, which I thought was great. But also it shares and steals, I guess, power from everything else. So taking that step forward to an entire grid where you could steal power from the house, you could steal power from whatever, or if it made excess power, it's a really sunny day, it can give back. So that was totally exciting. The Toyota Biomobile Mecha is powered by pollution. I thought that was a rather grandiose claim, a vague claim. What exactly is pollution? Are we talking about, unwanted ozone, smog, or whatever? But I really like this one because it was inspired so much by the biomimicry ideas. Not just a school of fish in the way it moves, or, the ants in the way they don't get stuck in traffic jams, keeping their proper distance, but this one has lizard skin, it has suction feet to walk up vertical walls, and it has an aerial mode so it can float around. It's got these nano laser wheels that are just really cool. So it also addressed the social implications of people needing housing, so it says it can be a temporary dwelling. Again, this idea that it'll stretch and reform to the way that a consumer wants it to look like. But the number one and winner is the Volkswagen Slipstream. Basically, it looks like a wine bottle that lays down and goes 250 miles an hour on a certain road. So I like that. One of the other cars mentioned that although there weren't any accidents, there were still people getting speeding tickets. So I like the world in which Volkswagen claims that we can be both safe and travel insanely fast. Solar power run, it's a vertical mode for city, horizontal mode for blasting off, and I think what won the day was the fact that it showed what it looked like from the inside, kind of told a story about it. I don't know where the artificial intelligence stuff came in, other than the fact that, probably like the other ones, it could run errands for you and program where to go and when to change and that kind of thing. So, in summary, a lot of these future cars can drive in any direction, so that could be the future of propulsion. These things could look like anything, they could be customized, they could change shape. So we're seeing that. As I look into the future, I see that everywhere. Also this eco-friendly power, which is odd that we're not moving there faster, but being able to communicate with each other, having a network of transportation information, definitely something that requires a lot of infrastructure to maintain all this. But I think the internet is sort of the baby of, if we can hook our cars into the internet, they're going to know where each other are. Well, GPS, and it's going to be an amazing future. So that is my review of the Los Angeles Design Challenge for 2007.